Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will be talking to you about spiritual self-care tips. So this morning, please say hello so I can say hi back to you. And if you are watching on the replay, hashtag replay so I can come back on later on and say hi to you then. And then before we get started, if you guys are watching this on Facebook, I would encourage you to head on over to my YouTube channel, type in my first and last name, hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications for every time that I come live. On my channel, you will find yoga videos, meditation, self-love topics, self-care topics, and interviews with other like-minded women. So today's topic is some spiritual self-care tips for you guys. So there are kind of like 6 or 7 pillars of self-care that we like to look at when we're talking about our self-love journeys and then being able to fulfill all these different areas of our lives and kind of have this balanced life of all these different areas. And like when we're talking about self-care, we can have our physical self-care, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, our personal. Am I missing any? Anyway, you guys get the idea. We got the sun coming in the window here. I don't have my lights on today, so bear with me. So I'm going to make sure that I can see you guys on here so I can say hi to some of you. Dun, dun, dun.
Hello.
There is my voice. Okay, so let's get into it. So spiritual self-care tips. So taking care of yourself on a spiritual level is a really big part of the whole self-love experience. So it could be going to church if that's something that you do. Hi, Jenica. How's it going? I see you there. It could be going to church, going outside in nature, doing yoga, reading a really good book. This spiritual self-care looks different for everyone because everyone is different. Oh my gosh. And we all have different things that fulfill that spiritual self-care piece of our lives. So I'm going to share with you guys just 4 tips to think about when you're maybe thinking about whether or not you have kind of that self-care, the spiritual self-care side of your life kind of figured out. So the first thing is to create ritual. So creating ritual for your spiritual self-care might look like picking an oracle card each day for guidance from the universe. It might be going to church every Sunday or Saturday. It might be being grateful for each meal and saying something at each meal that you're grateful for, or keeping a gratitude journal. All these things kind of just connect us to the sacredness of everyday life. So just whatever it is for you, just kind of creating that ritual or those traditions that you do every day or consistently that are going to help you to become more spiritual in your self-care routines. So I see Jenna there. Hello, Jenna. And the second tip for you guys is to find stillness. And so stillness can be in a couple different forms as well. It might be just alone time to connect to your inner self or your higher power. It might be meditation. It might be prayer. It might be reflection. Just finding time in your day to find that stillness. Because as we all know, life is busy and it's super easy to forget to find that moment for yourself in the day to kind of find that piece of stillness or reflection or prayer. And so just making sure that that's a part of your spiritual self-care routine. And then the third tip for you guys is to live in the present moment. And this is super important, but also super hard. And I struggle with this as well. Is to really start to think about living in the present moment, to be here now, to stop resisting the present moment. Because oftentimes we're always looking towards the goal or the destination or the end result. Like we are so hyper focused on it that we forget to enjoy the moment that we're in right now, right? Because the journey, the joy is in the journey. Like I've heard people say that before, is that when you can find joy and happiness in your journey of your life, instead of always thinking that happiness is a destination, then you start to really transform the way that you think. So really just, what did I say here? So just knowing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment and that you are given either the situations or the struggles or the roadblocks for a reason. And when you're able to kind of just step into the moment of finding joy and happiness in the moment and gratitude, then you're going to be living in the present moment, which is going to really transform the way that you enjoy your life, right? We're only given one chance at this life. So it's really important to realize that we really have to always try and rein yourself in, because I know I'm good at this too. It's always like, oh, I can't wait till I get there. But it's also enjoying that journey to getting there, right? Like, yes, we want to get there, but we really have to enjoy each step along the way. So the fourth tip for you guys is to choose happiness. And this is also hard. I'm finding myself struggle with this lately, especially, is that we are born to experience the capacity of emotional well-being and joy, and that knowing that happiness comes from within. Because once again, we can be given different situations, roadblocks, obstacles, situations in our life that may try to bring us down in our happiness and our joy. But it's all in realizing that our happiness comes from inside, and only we can choose how we feel, and only we can choose how we are going to show up for our lives, right? Jenna says, love that, living in the present moment. It's true, and it's hard times, but I think it's important for us to really realize that that's where a lot of happiness exists, is in this present moment, right? Being grateful to be talking to you guys here this morning. So so going back to happiness, just knowing that our happiness comes from within, and that we can't determine that happiness upon a job or a size. If we're talking about weight or size, that happiness comes from inside. It's an inside journey. It's inside work. And that the sooner that we can start to choose happiness, the happier we're going to be. So just these are just a couple spiritual self-care tips for you guys. Just knowing that your spiritual practice helps to ground you, and it helps you to navigate challenges you face, because we all face challenges because we are humans, and that is just what we are given, right? And it's just having that spiritual self-care practice helps us to trust in the flow of life and just relax into the beauty of our true nature. And so I really love that. That just trusting, releasing, grounding in our spiritual practices, and allowing that to influence us to be in the present moment, choose happiness, create rituals that help us to connect to to that happiness and joy, and just all those things, finding stillness, all those wonderful self-care or spiritual self-care practices that are so good for our soul, right, you guys? So I see Jenna here. She says, for sure, I'm always looking ahead and need to be joyful right in the here and now. It's so true. That's something that it's good. It's a good reminder to just try and find the joy in the here and now. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. So you guys, that is all I had for you guys this morning. I will be popping out of here for the next 4 days. I'm going on an adventure. So I'll post pictures when I get back, and I'll be live on Tuesday. I guess will be the next time. So I hope you guys have the best weekend. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you. Oh, before I go. Oh, wait. Not see you. Hold on. I forgot to invite you guys. If you're not in this group already, you should be, because it is a group that empowers you to find self-love at any size through many different holistic and mystic approaches. We are called Imperfectly Perfect You, self-love at any size. So if you are not in that community already, I would encourage you to join us, because it's a super safe and welcoming space that just allows you to work on yourself, your personal development, and your self-love journey in a fun and mystical way. So we would love to welcome you into there if you're not in there already. So that's it, you guys.